Hey everyone, welcome to the Goofy Guy Podcast. I'm Jim Spangler, the Goofy Guy, your host, and welcome to episode number 131 of the Goofy Guy Podcast. Tonight we're talking about Disney news for August 8th, 2021. Yes, you heard that right, August 8th, 2021. I feel like this year is flying by. It's like a new month every month. Okay, that was really silly and stupid. But anyway, I feel like it's just brand new all the time. I feel like things are changing so fast. The Olympics are ending this evening, which I'm going to be really sad about because I enjoy watching them. I've really enjoyed watching them. Even just to have on in the background has been nice. But anyway, welcome to the Goofy Guy Podcast. I'm so glad you're here with us. And let's just get right to the news. All right. So, first up in our news this week is Toy Story Land. Toy Story Land is getting a fresh coat of paint. It's very needed. Now, it's not that Toy Story Land looks bad. I don't want anybody to think that I think Toy Story Land looks bad. It does not look bad. But that sun in Florida is awful on paint, just terrible on paint. And so for the 50th anniversary, they just kind of wanted to fix it up, shine it up a little bit, right? They wanted to be in its best looking appearance when that 50th anniversary comes around. And I think that's great. I wish they would do more of that more often. To be honest with you, there are a lot of things that for a long time could have used some sprucing up, so to speak. But anyway, Toy Story Land is getting a fresh coat of paint. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting in and seeing those bright, vivid colors again. I just love that land. It is so cute and so wonderful. And it will look its absolute best for the 50th anniversary. So way to go, Disney. I am happy that you are painting Toy Story Land. That leads us to our next paint job. If you can believe it, they have painted the inside of the queue to It's a Small World. So for those of you that don't know, this used to be like shades of white. I know that sounds kind of weird, shades of white, but it was white with lots of different textures. And so it kind of gave it different shades, different colors. But now during this refurb that they've done on this attraction, they've gone in and painted the queue. I love it. I think it looks great. It's beautiful. The colors are really vivid and bright, very happy, and really fits the theme that you go into when you go into It's a Small World. I'm really happy. Now, I know that before, the white was really paying homage to the last scene of It's the Small World. I hope this isn't isn't going to ruin the ride for anybody. No spoiler here, because when you go into the last room, it's all the children of all the countries singing together, and they're all in white. I love that scene. It's so happy and festive and really feels good. But I also love all the colors that come before it. So I really appreciate that they brought colors back into this attraction and into this queue. It looks beautiful. I think they did a lovely job. I'm really excited to see it in person. When I do, I'm sure I will take lots of pictures and share them with all of you when that time comes, because, it looks good. Just saying, it looks good. Another piece that is getting some, shall we say, a facelift is Be Our Guest Restaurant. Be Our Guest Restaurant is having scaffolding going up around it. I'm sure it's to refresh the paint and just make it look its best, nice and shiny for the 50th anniversary, since that's coming up pretty quick around here, and they're trying to get all that last-minute painting jobs done. The one thing I want to mention is that they have put scaffolding up around Beast Castle. Now, if you don't know how this works, they have the restaurant down below, and then up at the top, they have a forced perspective of Beast's Castle. I am hoping that they'll do a little work on that forced perspective. It is by far the worst forced perspective illusion in the park. No question, it's terrible. It's a little small thing right there. All the time. It's like they didn't even really try. They just were like, oh, we can make it look like Beast Castle's in the background, and then they didn't put any thought into it, right? So the good news is that they are putting scaffolding up around that. I hope that they kind of fix that up a little bit, add some things to make it look like it's further away, that would be really nice. Like having maybe some trees going up and different sizes as they go up. That would be wonderful. But we'll have to wait and see what they do. But it is nice to know that they are actually working on Be Our Guest restaurant. So good. If you've never been, it's definitely someplace to go. I will be honest. It is not one of my must-dos anymore. I do like it. I love the interior. I think the ballroom is glorious, and I think the West Wing is glorious, and really cool. Some really cool effects going on. For those of you that don't know, in that back window, when you walk into the ballroom, you see snow falling because you're looking out like it's the balcony, like there is in the movie. And it is the actual snow footage from the movie Beauty and the Beast. I love knowing that. I love knowing that they really tried to immerse you into that story. It's just beautiful, and they do a really good job in those two rooms. The music box room, they had to have some extra room, and they didn't really know what else to add, so they added this music box room with this music box in the center. It's okay. It's pretty generic, to be honest with you, but the other two rooms are gorgeous. So if you haven't gone, make sure you go to that. I would suggest going for lunch. Lunch is a better deal, or at least in the past it has. Do not go for breakfast. Breakfast is a terrible deal, and it is a price fixed menu. So just be aware of that also before you go. But if you've never been, it is certainly worth going, and you need to get those reservations as early as you possibly can because they go fast. So anyway, the outside is getting some work. They've got some scaffolding going up, and I'm excited about the fact that they're going to do some work on that. So all good. Really good news for that. Walt Disney World is going to be selling annual passes again. Yay! I'm so excited about this. If you had an annual pass before, you could, if you called, get an annual pass from them again. You could renew. I had an annual pass. I actually let it lapse because when park hopping was not happening, I didn't really feel the need to have an annual pass. I felt like it was cheaper for me to just buy the day tickets, the 4-day ticket, instead of the annual pass. But now that park hopping is coming back on January 1st, like we talked about in episode 120, in 130, episode 130, I feel like the annual pass is again going to be worth the purchase to be able to hop around to different things. Because I'll be honest with you, I really like going to a park in the morning and then maybe heading to Epcot for dinner at night, or maybe heading to Hollywood Studios to see the Star Wars show, or, all sorts of different things that you can do there. So lots of possibilities with that annual pass. And I do go multiple times a year. So it really works for me. So I'm really excited that they're going to begin selling those annual passes again. Yay! Lots of good news. I feel like this episode is full of good news. I love that. It's always good to have good news at Disney. I always like it instead of bad news. So there you go. Work is still being done on the Tron canopy. They're putting up steel supports that are going to hold up the panels that they have for that. If you haven't seen a picture of it, go out and Google it. It's really easy. Tron Light Cycle Coaster, and it'll bring up pictures of Shanghai, or it might even bring up images of what it's going to look like at Walt Disney World. But you'll see that the canopy is lit and those lights change, and it really is cool. It's beautiful. And so now they're putting the supports in for those panels to finish up that canopy. They've been working on the lights, adding the lights to it for a while now, and so that's good. They're also working on the tunnel for the train. If you don't know, the train at Walt Disney World has not been running for quite a long time because of the Tron construction. And the deal is that the train is going to have to go through the area that Tron occupies. And so they're building a tunnel for the train to go through. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with the tunnel, because a steam train doesn't really fit that idea, right? Doesn't fit that style or look. And so I'm interested to see what's going to be inside the tunnel, if anything's going to be inside the tunnel. I'm sure they'll do something. Who knows what it is? It may just be lights. Who knows? But I hope they are at least thinking about that. And I know that they're also starting to think about work on the walkways that they have to build for that. Look for that to open up in 2022. That's what they're saying. They're saying spring of 2022. I'm not sure that's really a realistic time, and realize that spring means it can be all the way up through mid-June for them. So I think we're probably looking more like the summer of 2022, but I could be wrong. They could really crank up what's going on in the construction and get it going and fired up. I know they're just as excited to have it open as we are to go on it. I'm really excited to ride it. I have seen the Shanghai ride, and I think it looks absolutely spectacular. So I'm looking forward to it. So keep an eye out for that. What else have we got here? Oh, the Main Street train station. If you don't know, the Main Street train station has been covered in canopies for a long time because they've been, redoing it, really upping the look and the really cleaning it up. And they're starting to show it now, and it is really looking beautiful. I've seen some pictures of it. I'll get some more pictures of it, hopefully, and I'll link them in the notes and so that you can see it. But she is really looking nice. Really bright, vivid colors back the way that she used to be. I'm really excited to see her completed and what she's going to look like. I'm sure she's going to look beautiful. So anyway, they are starting to come down. So if you go, you're actually going to be able to see the train station, not just a picture of the train station on a scrim. And that's always exciting. That's always good. So very good. Let's see what else we got here. Let's talk about one of the two big things that came up this week. And this is actually at Disneyland. Disneyland is redoing their annual pass program. Now, if you didn't know, they were doing like a frequent flyer program for a little bit here, and you were earning points, and points would earn you stuff. I think it was just to kind of let people know that they're working on something. But the Disney annual pass is actually coming back, and it is called the Imagine Key, the Disneyland Imagine Key. So the Magic Key, sorry, not the Imagine Key. That was crazy. The Magic Key, and that is an homage to the fact that the tickets that you used to buy to ride different rides, the A, B, C, D, E level rides, had a key on it. And so they wanted to kind of pay homage to that history of Disneyland, which I love. I think that's a great idea. I always love it when they do that things. Now, there are 4 different levels available for this, and they go on sale on August 25th, and not before, I believe, 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'm not positive, that maybe 10 a.m. Pacific time, but there are 4 levels. Let's talk about the 4 levels. If you're interested in getting these, you can always obviously find out what time on August 25th you can start buying these passes. The first level is the Disneyland Imagine Key. It's for $399. You can have 2 reservations at a time, which means that you can book 2 days at a time. You can't book 3 days. You can't book 4 days, 2 days at a time. So it also says that parking is not included in this annual pass. So you'll have to pay to park. And it is available only to Southern California residents. So what they're doing, if you don't know, Disneyland is more of a locals park. And so what they're doing is they're trying to give something to the locals so that they can't pack the park all the time. So they can't have lots of reservations lined up. But that they still have something that they can do and is special just to them. $399 is a great price. I'm telling you, I would be jumping all over that if I was Southern California. But it does prevent you from being as spontaneous as you were, right? Because if you wait till the day, there may not be reservations available. So it's still another way for them to be able to control the amount of people in the park. So that's the Disneyland Imagine Key for $399. We then have the Disneyland Enchanted Key for $649. Now, this allows you to have 4 reservations at a time. So you could book up to 4 days of reservations to go to the parks. And parking is not included. Again, parking is not included. So keep that in mind. So the next line, the next level, line, I don't know why I said line. The next level is the Disneyland Believe Key. Now, this one costs $949. So we're getting up pretty high, right? We're getting up to kind of, the $1,000 level of things. So this allows you to have 6 reservations at a time for the park. So you can book up to 6 days in the park, which is really nice because then you could park several days in advance and go, hey, let's all go to the park. That's really nice. And it also provides a 50% discount on parking. Are you seeing a theme here with this parking bit? They are not giving away the parking anymore. And I think it's because they have such limited parking, right? So they want people to carpool together so that, you know, they don't have as many cars, because I know that's an issue with the parking garages. They only have a finite number of parking spaces. So, but you can have 6 reservations at a time. I think that's great. That's the Disneyland Believe key for $949. And the last key is the Disneyland Dream key. Now, listen to this carefully, because then we're going to backtrack a little bit here. So the Disneyland Dream key is $1,399. So basically $1,400, right? You can have 6 reservations at a time, available at a time. Parking is included. And this is the big one. And there are no blackout dates. So if you buy this annual pass, you can go any day that you can make a reservation for, and you can have up to 6 reservations at a time. So, you know, you're paying quite a bit of money to not have to pay for parking, have 6 reservations at a time, and no blackout dates. Now, the interesting thing is, when I read those other descriptions, they didn't mention anything about blackout dates. I find that very fascinating, because clearly there are going to be blackout dates. I don't know what the level of blackout dates are going to be for those other 3 levels yet, but for $399, I'm guessing there are going to be a lot of blackout dates for that first level of keys, right? I'm assuming that spring break is going to be out. The holidays are going to be out. You know, I would guess the majority of the summer is going to be out for $399. So if you decide to buy some of these, make sure you know when you typically go and if there are blackout dates for that particular annual pass, because then that's not the pass you want. You want to be able to have an annual pass that lets you go on the days that you want to go. So be sure you check that out. Make sure that you understand all of those fine line items, right? All that small print at the bottom. Read the contract. Always read the contract. Even if you think you know what the contract says, read the contract. Especially with Disney, because a lot of times they say, you know, this can change at the drop of a hat. And a lot of times it does. So just be aware that that can change at any time at all. So, but it's good to know annual pass is coming back. A lot of people were concerned that it was never coming back to Disneyland, but it is. So that's good news. That's really good news. Let's talk about the last piece of news that the internet blew up. And I have opinion about that too. Let me give you the piece of news, and then you know I'll always give you my opinion. I'll always tell you what I think. Remember, it's honest but not serious. So let's talk about this last piece of news. We finally know what it's going to cost to go to the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. We all knew it was going to be expensive, and we were all talking cruise prices. We knew it was going to be a cruise pricing like formula to do it, but we really didn't have any price point to talk about, and Disney didn't really lead us to believe that we knew anything about it. They finally released the pricing. So it is going to cost you $4,800 for a party of 2 for 2 days. That's almost $5,000 that hotel for 2 days. That is a lot. And that doesn't include all the extras that you can add on to that, right? Because there are always extras that you can add on. Now, so that's $2,400 a person. It does go down if you have more people. The price does go down a little bit per person. But that is pricey. I am not going to be the first. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not expensive. That is expensive. But I will say the idea that the internet broke, the Disney internet broke because of this is ridiculous. We all knew this was going to be pricey. We all knew they were not building this hotel for the average guest to go to. That was not the point of this hotel. This hotel was for your high-end guests, right? Or people that saved a lot of money to do it. This was not for the overnight guest or the 2-night guest. I'm guessing that most of these people will probably do 2 nights at the Galactic Starcruiser, and then do the rest of their vacation someplace else. But this is high end, ladies and gentlemen. This is not, we're not playing games here, right? This is not, the Grand Floridian, right? Where, yes, it's a lovely atmosphere and the cast members are kind of in costumes that kind of remind you of turn of the century hotel. It's none of that, with nice music playing. And no, this is fully interactive, fully immersive, fully Star Wars Galactic Cruiser. So much so that Disney had to place on the website that they do not go to space. The Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser does not go to space. So that tells you how immersive this is going to be, that people would actually believe they might be going to space. Of course, you and I both know that there are always people that think those things, which is ridiculous. So we'll just leave it at that. I don't have anything else to say about that. But the Galactic Starcruiser, $4,800 for 2 people, 2 nights, fully immersive. You can have costumes. I'm sure that will cost extra. I'm sure how immersive you decide to do, that price will go up. Also know that you don't have to do a fully immersive if you don't want to. I think that one of the things that surprised people is that if you want to wear jeans and a t-shirt the whole time that you're there, you're welcome to do that. You can absolutely do that. You can just sit at the bar, enjoy the atmosphere, watch all the crazy people running around doing all their stuff, and then, just enjoy that. If you want to pay that kind of price to do that, more power to you. We also found out that there's going to be a scavenger hunt in Batuu for people to go on. I'm sure that will cost money. All those little extras are gonna, it's like excursions on a cruise, right? It's like excursions. I don't hear anybody complaining really about how expensive Disney cruise lines are. And granted, it's a different kind of resort, right? It is immersive on a cruise line, but once again, you are not paying cast members to play specific roles to help people through this story, to create this story, right? Think how hard that's going to be for those people. The amount of improv skills that you're going to have to deal with all of those guests all the time and keep the story alive is going to be really challenging. And so they're really going to train those people up, and I'm sure continue to train them. And it's expensive. It's expensive to have some of the special effects that they're going to have in there, and it's always going to be changing. So $4,800, 2 people, 2 nights. I wasn't surprised. I personally was not surprised. I was surprised that the rest of the internet was surprised. And maybe, the people that were really surprised were the people that don't really follow Disney. And they were like, what? How much is it going to be? But I was not personally surprised. I was like, oh, $4,800. Okay. Maybe that's because I knew I was never going to be doing it. Like, if I win the lottery, maybe I'll do it. But honestly, I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars. I saw the original, episode 4 in the theaters when it first came out. To say I love Star Wars is really an understatement. But that's a lot of money for somebody that just loves it and is not completely passionate and all consumed by it, right? So for me, that's a little pricey. For you, it may not be. Let me know. What do you think of that price? Do you think Disney has overpriced it? Do you think there are going to be enough people that are going to want to do it to fill that hotel all the time? Because we all know the name of the game is that they want that hotel filled, right? They just want those rooms booked. So let me know. Leave a comment. Tweet me on Twitter. It's the Goofy Guy blog. Go to Facebook. Leave a comment. If that's where you're watching it right now, leave a comment there. Let me know what you think about that price. I do think it's expensive. I'm not saying it's not, but we all knew it was going to be. So we can't act surprised when Disney prices it accordingly. Now, I do know, as a sideline, that Universal Studios is having a little fun with it. I have not read everything they've done yet, but go out and look for it. I know they're having some fun with the pricing of this Galactic Starcruiser. So make sure you check that out, because I'm sure it's very smart and clever. I'm sure that they're having a good laugh about this because they're building hotels that are gorgeous, that are not, $2,400 a night. So be sure to check that out. And that's about it for this week. I don't think I have any other news for the week. I mean, there were other news, products come out all the time, all that kind of stuff, but nothing that I thought that you might be interested in. I thought those were the news items that probably you'd want to know about. So let me know what you think. What do you think about the Star Cruiser? What do you think about the annual pass program at Disneyland? What do you think about Disney World selling annual passes again? Let me know all of those things. I'd really like to know your opinion and hear what you have to say. You can always get a hold of me at jim@thegoofyguy.com. Just send me an email there. You can find me on Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. It's The Goofy Guy Blog. You can find me on Facebook. It's The Goofy Guy. You can find me on YouTube. Just look up The Goofy Guy. You can find me on Twitch. It's The Goofy Guy. So lots of places. You can also go to my website, thegoofyguy.com. Click on that little podcast link up in the upper right, and it'll take you right to our podcast, and you can leave a comment right there below the podcast, and I'll be sure to get that too, and I respond to everything. So please feel free. Also, make sure while you're there that you sign up for the Goofy Guy newsletter. I know I missed this last week. I'm sorry. We had some interesting things happening, and so I just didn't quite get it out, but there'll definitely be one coming out this week, and I'll catch you all up on everything that's happening here at Goofy Guy Studios, and we'll have, we always have a good time with that. So please go sign up for the newsletter. I would love to have you as a part of the group, that we're trying to develop. And also go to the Goofy Guy Disney Fan Club Facebook page and click join in there. You have to answer a couple questions. They're pretty easy questions, so that I know that you're a real human being, that you're not just a robot. And I'll be sure to get you in real quick. And we have all sorts of conversations going on in there about Disneyland, Disney World, just really enjoying Disney, people that love Disney. So be sure to go out and do that too. Also, be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you hear it, wherever you get it. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button and click that notification icon so you never miss when a video comes out. And go out and give us a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcast. We'd really appreciate that too. It helps other people find this podcast, helps spread the joy, helps spread the Disney love that we have. And I would really appreciate that too. It really helps us out a lot when you do that. So please, all the things, do all the things, everything that, everything to do to help us out. And if nothing else, share it with a friend. Share it on your Facebook page, share it wherever you socialize. And that helps us out too, helps other people find us also. With that, thanks so much for joining me. I know you have a lot of places that you can get your Disney news from. I appreciate that you listen to The Goofy Guy. We certainly have a lot of fun doing it, and really appreciate that. Get vaccinated, get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you have not been vaccinated yet, make sure that you get vaccinated. This COVID Delta variant is not something to be played with. We are certainly concerned about it. Hi, Eden7. Endon, I'm sorry, I thought I said Eden. Endon. It's Endon7. Hi. Glad you could join us here at the end. So please get vaccinated to protect your fellow neighbors. Check on your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones. Make sure everybody's doing okay. Really help each other out, lift each other up, support each other. Even if you don't like your neighbor, check on them. Make sure they're okay. You don't have to like them to make sure that they're okay. And wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask. Disney is now requiring masks indoors. I know Illinois now is requiring masks in a lot of places. Where I live, they now require masks indoor. And it's really because of this Delta variant. It's very scary. So please take care of yourself. I want you all to be here to celebrate Disney with me. That is truly what we do here. So make sure you take care of all that and take care of your friends and loved ones. And with that, I think that's everything. Like I said, so thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you later.